So we've missed Try's turn 1, and let's see what's happened. He's picked the ball up and done some dwarf things and not removed anybody. You really didn't miss anything.
No, it's just been a couple of blocks. Try moving some players up. Deep kick picks it up because sure hands is fine, and now Dio's kind of manning up where he thinks he can, and that's probably going to be the rest of the half.
Yep. I've got 7 guard. You've got 7 guard, and maybe you'll forget which ones have guard.
I did forget which guy had sidestep, so I did do one thing bad because of 1 minute turns. Hello, Tony, and hello, Satterfield. Willkommen.
Yeah. Okay. So Tony, Try has 4 rerolls, so I assume he got that 4th one on the kickoff event. So that's probably what that was. And he's also brought a fan to the game. Y'all can.
Dwarf fan is a fan of Tryphikik. Is that what we're saying?
Yep.
One dwarf fan. Yep.
Last I heard, he was leading the poll as well to decide. People were trying to pick a winner. The poll's been updated, by the way. It's now just the final 4. You can make a new vote to choose your winner. It's it's not too late, I guess. Let's see. Blitz. Here's the link. Those are the brackets. Those have been updated. You can see what's happening there. You can also see all the team builds. If you can't figure out that dwarfs are just going to have a lot of boring shit, then you could look that up. And finally, there's a straw poll where you can predict who you think will win the final 4. And this is...
Try is my pick because he's the only person in history to win a CCL with the Lizardmen.
Only CCL that matters.
Yep. Try also said, I think he hasn't played any games since about the time he won that.
It was the end of the SFL season when he won with Chaos Wars. Was the last game he's played. So it's been like 2 months or something since he's played a Blood Bowl game before yesterday.
So he's in good form, you would say.
I find myself in better form when I don't play Blood Bowl after a while, which is to say, most of the times I play Blood Bowl.
Yeah, you're in a better mood anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to do as little as possible here. I mean, there isn't an awful lot to see on the screen anyway, but my CPU meter is pegging at 100, and I'm really afraid I'm just going to crash everything again, and I don't want that to happen. After this game, we'll shut the stream down briefly. I'll reboot everything and then start over, and we should be fine. Oh, look at that. Stand firm.
A Don with the means. We expect this to be a short game. Genius.
We actually got about an average length game when Try played Crucifer yesterday, despite the fact that it went 24 turns.
But this time it's 22 dwarves rather than there was only 17 for the short game.
Mm-hmm. This is probably going to go the full distance because both these teams are going to probably score once, not have the time to score back, especially at 1 minute. Dio's left a bit of a surf on here with the chain push, it looks like. Yeah, I think he's left a surf on with just blocks.
It's low. It's not easy, is it? Because that guy's got stand firm.
Well, it's his own player that has stand firm, so he can just...
Yeah, Try is the only one to stand firm.
Oh yeah. Oh, this is bad. Oh, wait a minute. What's he doing here?
That pile-on doesn't help stop the surf, I don't think. So, covering it up now.
Yeah.
But it's still a 2D without any more assists in there. It doesn't really do much. If he wants to get the one I'm seeing anyway. I don't think he needs to get a blitz afterwards to clear him out. No, he doesn't. Maybe hard to generate the second block as anything other than 1 dice.
Which player are you even planning to surf here?
If you're looking, I'm looking from Try's perspective. The right side, there's the two. There's the Palmer, and the one standing above him. I believe he can be surfed. You can push him into the Blitzer with guard, and then block him with the blodge. Yeah, blodge.
Yeah, the chain. Oh,
if Try is not going for that one, he's going to go.
Put a man there instead. Yeah, you'd have to blitz from this square, push this guy down to here or something, and then use this player to push him back. It's okay with
Palmer might also be available for surfing, but not positive.
It looks like Try is setting up something.
Just be getting multiple blocks here.
Yeah. Well, that's his blitz.
Or he might have just misread it.
It's not on.
There it is. Okay. That's one way to do it, I think. Or at least maybe get off the sidelines. Let's see.
Yeah, he's not going to be able to fill the back square and surf him, is he? But
lock this Palmer up for all of time. So and with stand firm, he's not in any actual threat to get surfed.
Right, this is the safe player. You want him leading. And this guy's the other stand firm. He's pretty safe as well.
Guard up the other Palmer.
Maybe if you gave us 3 or 4 minutes, we'd find better moves than that and actually get someone off the pitch.
I think it's fine, and Try has the ball's under 0 pressure, so...
Well, not necessarily. Can you clear a path to get at the ball carrier from the upper left? Might be some 1-dice blocks, but...
maybe, I don't know. No, you can't. I think there's just enough tackle zones that it... path, even with POWs here.
Maybe if you knock this player
and also,
down
I don't know how you get it to
here, you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... No, not quite. And Blitzer 1 square farther back.
Even with that, there's not a way to get enough assists to really do anything there.
Right. But you can put him under some pressure.
Hmm.
That looks like the general idea, because now you can swing guys right through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Double GFI to base the ball. Doesn't accomplish an awful lot.
Well, everyone knows if you base the ball, it's an auto win, so it's probably worth doing.
Well, not with a blitzer, because then you can just dodge away from them.
Nope, it's guaranteed win. If you base the ball.
All right, never mind. I take it back.
Gym facts.
Yeah, you base everyone else. That's actually pretty good. Try can't run back to the left, and he can't run to the right because that's where the sideline is. He'll run out of room.
Try is losing a bit of space, but he is controlling the side he controls pretty well. And the stand firm is doing a little bit here. And it looks like we are going to see... Okay, just a base. There's not going to be any attempt on the ball. Are we... stand firm guy?
Yeah. We get a pile-on armor break, which is unlikely, but pretty tempting.
I
guess he's not going to do it.
It's a bit late to pile on at this point.
I think
it's surprising.
Pile on every single time. Honestly, genuinely, but jump up. I would pile on every single time.
And this matchup in particular, because any removals of skilled players is incredibly valuable, especially any guards, let alone the guard stand firms.
Yeah, that is a high value target. Probably the blitzer that. Where's his killer blitzer? It's around here somewhere. Oh, we're just gonna red dice people.
That's a weird play.
Maybe he's hoping to clear up enough space that he can try to jump up with that player and not get surfed, but there's probably no way to do that.
I'm talking away when I'm muted. Maybe he was trying a chain that didn't exist to try and free up his Pommer somehow, because he doesn't want the Pommer taken out of the game like this, does he?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. His Pommer's really stuck right now. Fortunately, he's got 3 of them, so it's not such a great loss as if Try had lost his Pommer, who's right there, by the way. And good afternoon, Mr. Tom Schnizzle. We have a whole lot of dwarf on dwarf action, and probably more dwarf on dwarf action later.
In fact, it's guaranteed to at least get 1 more dwarf in the rest of the games.
Yeah.
Glorious.
Could try and cut around the edge here. It's not so threatening. But he's got the opportunity, which isn't, dwarves kind of want to take the space when they can get it.
Yeah, he may try and funnel up the right side right now. If you're tuning in late, let me tell you what the stakes are here. Both of these coaches have guaranteed themselves a top 3 finish at least, which means they're in the money. The winner of this game goes straight to the final. They'll get a bye. They'll get an hour or so break after this one. The loser will have to play the winner of what's going on. It's Crucifer and Cyber Knight, which is being played right now. I should be able to see that on Mr. Volpe's and Culta's channel as well. And then the winner of that will have to come back to play the winner of this game. So we could see a rematch of these same 2 teams in the final for all of the marbles and most of the money. So it's going to be a dwarfy day.
The second dwarf red dice we've seen, which is a bit of a surprise. I mean, they've been last actions, but it's always odd to see dwarves throw red dice. They usually just don't need to.
Well, it's usually pretty safe. I mean, neither side has needed a reroll either, so you can pretty much commit to that if you have to.
There's a 5+2+2+ hit on the ball, so there's nothing really threatening at this point.
3, 4, 5. Ooh, yeah. You're a little too far away. Dwarfs are just a little too slow. And it doesn't look like there's going to be any exciting chains. One thing is that there are 3 jump up players on Dio's team. So just because his guys are lying on the ground doesn't mean they won't stand up and suddenly do a chain push or something without having to use their blitz.
I'm surprised that neither dwarf team went with a troll slayer. That really surprised me because one of the good things about dark elves I thought was having the witch elves, to catch people out if they've running out of time and leave a surf on, and they just don't have that, do they?
No, they do not.
They've both seemed to have chosen to instead field a second runner rather than have a troll slayer on the team. I mean, Dio's not even fielding any of his runner. He's completely fine having only 2 movement 5 on defense. He doesn't want any aviate at all, and Trio just basically wants 1 runner for offense. He doesn't even want a second runner on offense.
The Troll Slayer would be pretty handy right now, though, especially if you gave him stuff like Juggernaut.
I think Try was saying he wanted the specific reason he was going to take dwarves and chores is because of the tackle in case of wood elves. So I imagine if that's your inclination, the frenzy just isn't as appealing. You want the tackle,
right? You don't really need it, but
dauntless to mess around or frenzy for movement 5. Frenzy just is not as good as movement 7 as it is on witch elves.
Sure. Obviously, troll slayers are nothing like witch elves for certain. But they're still powerful, aren't they?
Yeah. It'd be nice to have 1.
Oh wow.
Maybe they just doesn't quite work with the math to have 13 players in a troll slayer.
Yeah, I would have probably just gone. I wouldn't mind going to 12 because you're unlikely to take that many cars. 12 and an apple.
No. Well, we seen.
I mean, we saw Try get smashed up by Skaven in the first half, so.
Yeah.
It was a Skaven team with multiple claw.
I wasn't expecting to take 7 cars against undead, so what do I know?
And if once you're at this team value and teams that people are custom building teams, you're expecting maybe a Necro, certainly a Chorf team, maybe a Skaven with some claw palms. So it's not too unlikely that even as dwarves you're going to take at least 2 Kaz.
And it was not a surprise to anyone to see Crucifer play a team with claw.
Once you knew Crucifers and you knew you were getting a claw palmer, at least 1.
And I think when we had to try and guess what Wolfbark was going to play, Undead was one of the top possibilities. No claw, of course, but certainly a potential to have a lot of mighty blow and hurt a lot of people.
Try uses a reroll finally, our first one of the game.
He's got 1 for each turn left now at this point, so.
He'll have to cope somehow.
Yeah, I don't know how he's going to manage it.
Another non-pile on.
No, he needs probably this player to help protect. I like getting off the sideline, although it really doesn't matter too much in this particular position. I kind of want to turn skills off and just let people assume that every single player has guard, so that you don't have to see the 58 little red shields.
The one blessing is that the guard symbols may be one of the 3 or 4 symbols in the game that are actually well designed. It and Stand Firm are probably, and Mighty Blow might be the 3 best of the skill designs.
So that you can actually tell what they mean pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, guard
compared to the tackle foot and the block hand.
Talk to the hand, I'm going to kick you in the nuts.
Remember, Nerves of Steel is supposed to be the Viking helmet. And jump up just the Witch Elf. It's just a Witch Elf face.
I can't even tell what's that. Oh yeah, you're right, it kind of is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, maybe. Sort of looks like they have a mustache. I mean, I wouldn't put it past the occasional witch elf mustache, but still. Looks like, oh yeah, there's the kind of the springy thing in the upper left corner. It's like the old Batman cartoon action. Look, they've jumped up. They've moved quickly. The swish movement lines. And thick skull is just a very average sized skull. And
Palmer gets his tackle.
yeah, with 2 seconds left.
Ooh. We have a Mighty Blow armor break. Does he pile on the AV break, or does he feel he needs that player? I think you maybe... Jim, do you pile on here?
Jim piles on every
I
time.
say pile on every time without even thinking. Just auto
Yeah.
pile on. I'm genuinely not even.
No,
joking.
I know you're not. I probably would have left him standing just because he's doing an important job standing in that square. Although, possibly removing a Blodge stand firm blitzer, it would be a good job too.
Other coaches even had the opportunity to use an Apo. In this matchup, Jim, do you just use the Apo on anything, even just a badly hurt, even on an unskilled player, or do you wait for it to be a skilled player?
I think if I was Dio, well, yeah, he's got 2 reserves. So if I'm Dio, I might use it on a KO'd guard, or a KO'd killer. But yeah, otherwise, yeah, leave it for a Kaz on probably on a guard at least. Yeah, for sure. Because the fact you've got 2 reserves means you can afford to, can't you?
Well, on the other hand, if you can hang on to it long enough and reach the second half with still 11, you can be a little more, tactical in using it on the KOs. Although I suppose if you're going to use it on a KO anyway, why not?
I guess it depends on how the drives go and everything.
Yeah.
If you feel like you need someone to stop a score or get a score, then by all means go for it. Yeah, it would be very situational, I think.
Yeah, it's really hard to just lay out one rule of I will always do this. I mean, you can when you're talking about piling on, but not in this situation.
I think Try's left a very simple one dice on here.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it's 2 GFIs for 1 dice with the guard. He can probably get one of these players somewhere free as well.
In double GFI to make it a lot harder, and he's going to double GFI and make it a lot harder.
All right, yeah, he's now probably forcing dodges. You can still free this player pretty simply. 2, 3, 4, but he can really only be the assist. Maybe if you block this player out of the way, then this Longbeard is free to move and come back up and around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 double GFI to do it. So it's still certainly doable.
Are you concerned with the dwarf 2 turn in this format, or are you happy to score on turn 8, Jim? Or score on turn 7?
I would score on turn 7 if I had to. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. I guess it's all right, isn't it? But he might not even have the chance with this chain out. It's interesting, isn't it? He had a lot of options there, Dio. Lots of ways of like chaining things and engineering things.
He's gone for a particularly classy one too, chaining a player free. And it doesn't look like he's going to be able to get an assist though, so it'll just be the 1 dice block with tackle.
And most importantly, pile on.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no other agility 3 players that are relevant for trying to pick up the ball, so if he gets any armor break, he has to go for it to stop the score here. Ooh. Do you like to push to the sideline there, Jim, or do you want to keep the ball in play?
I like to push to the sideline, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, where's it going to go that would be more helpful to your opponent? Okay, maybe right there. And other than that,
there.
That's
yeah,
that's
right,
a 1D.
He's going to free up He's going to free up the blitzer. But it's 1D against stand firm, so it's not very promising. But it means he can now bring another player over to the ball.
Yeah, he can pick it up, can't he? Oh, but no, I guess
he'll just block it off, and now he has 2 dice all over the place.
Yeah, score's not happening now. I don't think either team has a real score. Well, no, he still has the palming blitzer, who I think...
Technically, this man can score.
Range, yeah.
Of course, both his runners are on the bench. Because, why do anything to counter the one possible weakness of dwarves? Oh, yeah, well, everybody's getting punched a lot. That's just dwarf on dwarf action. They can kind of just say, well, there's the ball. Who cares? Dio's done an excellent job of defending here and cutting everything off. I mean, sure, it took a 1 dice pow on a blodger, but he set everything up nicely, and the scatter was in a kind of scary spot, but he's shut that off pretty well too. So well done to you. And
we've got the potential of a super exciting 0-0 on the cards, isn't it? Because dwarves are very tricky to score, even at the best of times. And then when you press for time, it can be very tricky. So, yeah.
Well, at least whoever wins the other game there, Cyber Knight and Crucifer, can have themselves a quick nap, because this game is going to take forever.
Yeah, so that POW on the blitzer down there is no longer any legitimate scoring threat for the dwarves. So we are either going in with Try, getting unusual.
No, he's got jump up. Sorry. Ooh, voice
he does have jump up.
Yeah. So technically, 1, 2.
It's a 4+3+ dodge now. I'm not sure that's a real scoring threat, but
3 GFIs to get there. But he may be able to chain him forward. It's not going to be easy because of the stand firm in this corner.
I don't know if you can fill in the squares. It's maybe a chance. I don't think we're likely to see Dio get his score now. If he was standing up or was if he was just a 3+ dodge, I think it's. But also without a runner to actually do a real recovery here is pretty hard.
Well, you might have a block here, this 1 die to knock over the other Longbeard, and then that saves you the trouble of making a harder dodge.
And all the dub skulls are showing up in these the past 4 turns. It's been pretty brutal for both coaches. Lots of skulls, finally.
You gotta make the dice log look right.
Hey!
Oh, does this get appoed? It looks like it does. And
yeah, even with the 50-50, you have to appo that death. It's just too good.
You're losing a guard. Right, that's this player is just a guard.
Yeah, I support that apple.
You're going to need him in the next half and the third half.
The lack of rules for either team is going to make it really hard to score, even for Dio. Simply fact, because we talked about this yesterday at some point, but you're basically a player down on offense. Participate. So if you can't get any removals, you're just playing 10 on 11, and it's pretty hard when you're playing a mirror match and you're 10 on 11 to score or really do anything. It's going to be a rough if neither team can get any removals for an offense to happen here.
All right, now with this one die POW, he may have a go at the end of his turn. Just try and dodge the blitzer away and run him down to the scoring threat. We thought it looked a little optimistic, but it looked a little optimistic when Cyber Knight did it last night, and the player ended up scoring.
Just make all the GF5s. I don't know if I would have made the second one that turn, but...
no, because he's already used the reroll. He probably figures he's likely to need the reroll, just getting him the ball anyway.
So I don't...
Them up. I had to do the GFIs.
Mm-hmm.
Try has one scoring threat, and it's a Longbeard.
Mm-hmm. And
I don't think he's scoring.
Yeah, Try at this point can no longer even mark the scoring threat blitzer.
He can with 2 GFIs on the bottom Longbeard.
No, there's a man in his way.
No, he can get there.
He can get 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah, I guess he still can. Sorry. I was just thinking that he was cut off by the man he just stood up. My bad.
Yeah, the guy who just stood up is in an awkward place, to say the least.
I thought he might even have to blitz with him just to get him out of the square.
It looks like he wouldn't have really saved movement by doing that, so it's fine to just stand him up.
Nope.
Try's
doing nothing? We may have. Nope, he's moving, and he's still at 3 seconds.
Try choosing not to care about the scoring threat and instead just going for the guy with jump up, or the other agility 3 player, which I think is also reasonable.
If you can knock him over or something, that's great. This is not the blitzer that jumps up. I think Try's just panicked a bit, run out of time, and it's like, okay, I gotta take every block that's here. Because what else is there? Probably a little upset with himself as well that he got himself turned over. The Dio needs to get this one player down out of the way, and then somehow get this player free to get the ball.
He's probably just going to do a 3+ dodge here. I don't think there's another reasonable way. He's got maybe a chain push on, actually, here.
Would you try and blitz? Oh, no, he's got to stand firm, the guy in the end, just to make him...
Yeah, he does a chain push here. If he doesn't get a POW, he does a push away with the tackler. So this was a pretty well done.
Yeah. Dio, clearly the master at chain pushery. He's done some nice ones already in his 1-minute turns where nobody could possibly find any advanced plays.
Unlike vampires or Slann, dwarves aren't really a technical team with all of their movement and ability to just kind of make plays happen out of nowhere, so they don't need the 3 minutes to be competitive like those teams do.
No, but Dio is still making cool plays, and he's doing it in 1 minute with a team that can't make plays.
Here comes the pass. Not sure if he needs to do GFIs, or I don't think GFIing here will matter. Make this pass shorter.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. One GFI may have changed it. I don't think it does.
Pass does work.
Oh, look at that.
He does catch it, and oh boy, here we go.
It's cost him a reroll. All he has is 1 GFI. And there you go.
Unbelievable, Jeff.
Yeah.
He's looking massive favourite now, isn't he?
Jump up, save the day.
Massive favourite now.
After the reroll, it took a 6 on the pass and a 6 on the catch. And We didn't even need to roll 6s, but it worked. So Try is going to somehow put that behind him. He now needs to turn over Dio here in the second half. At best, but probably to force overtime. Puts you in a rough spot. Yeah, fucking boring dwarf mirror. This has been pretty exciting.
Yeah, sometimes dwarves do elf things.
Yeah.
Like when they throw 6+ passes in World Cups. I will never ever forget that terrible, terrible play.
Sometimes they do 4+ dodges for no reason at all in World Cups. Yeah. In the greatest World Cup game ever.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So we have
Joe,
long...
if you were to compete in another one of these, do you think you would take dwarves, or do you think you'd stick with dark elves or some other team?
With this rule set, I don't know. I think it's the thing. I put try on using lizards. It was different with knowing like the competitors. I thought Dio would use dwarves, and obviously knew Crucifer would use Chorth and stuff. So I don't know. I thought Dark Elves were fine. Honestly, I thought I was unlucky in the 2 games that I lost.
I was honestly a little surprised to see you not play Wood Elves, even knowing that there were going to be some dwarf teams.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I thought Wood Elves can get smashed to pieces, whereas I thought the others wouldn't. Dark Elves wouldn't.
Surprise! Dark Elves can get smashed to pieces.
Yeah, the Dark
I
Elves.
was a bit surprised when I saw Try take dwarves, because the last time I saw him play dwarves was like SFL Season 1, and he played one game, won, and was like, yeah, this is the shits. Give me a new team, and redrafted and replayed his game. Just did not play dwarves for the rest of the season. He's like, fuck it, Kimry.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping he might even give Kemri a try. Although Dwarf's obviously a good pick, and I think part of the SFL thing was he just didn't want to have to play Dwarfs over and over. Not that he thought they were bad.
Yeah.
Good evening, Mr. Calcium.
Try also said after day 1 that he was expecting to just lose twice and not to play any more Blood Bowl, so he was a bit shocked to come in and actually win a couple of games. So
okay. This is a bad game to lose because it means you have to play more Blood Bowl immediately.
Yeah, fucking Wolfbark and no, not Wolfbark. Wolfbark played 3 as well, didn't he? But I think I got the worst one of losing the first one, then winning for a bit of hope, and then having to play a third one. Would have been better just to lose 2 in a row, wouldn't
really planned it poorly.
Wolfbark said he had a pretty noticeable headache after the 3rd game. He was quite exhausted.
Yeah. Well, I was tired, and I was just watching.
Yeah.
But we really didn't get to see him play before the 3rd game, but I think he probably, that was not his strongest, because it was just tired at the end of the day.
Yep.
It was not a great game. He played Cyber, and Cyber played really well and had slightly better dice, and was just kind of not failing the things.
Yeah, I don't think...
Agi 4 Burts, which will happen sometimes.
Right. Wolfbark never really had a chance there, because Cyber Knight played too well and rolled too well, and was just going to win that game.
And hello, Calcium, and hello, everybody else.
Yeah. This is the winner's bracket final. The winner of this game goes to the grand final, where over $100 United States money in prizes will be awarded. The loser still has a chance to reach it, but they will have to play another game first and win that one. They'll be playing the winner of Crucifer and Cyber Knight. That game's happening right now. Maybe we can get an update on how that's going. But I'm going to stay right here because my computer is borderline crashy. If I quit this replay to go look at another one, I'm afraid it might be 20 minutes before we get back into this. So apologies for that. We're doing our best here. Dio's gone mostly max protect. 1-0 to Crucifer so far. Okay, thank you, Mr. Schnizzle. And tries just base the hell out of everybody. Try, of course, does need to make something crazy happen quickly because he conceded a score on his offense. So now he's got to turn the ball over somehow and score again just to force overtime. And yeah, it is an overtime format.
How aggressive would you be if you were Dio here to get a score in the first 4 turns? Do you make any attempt, or you just play keep away? Because, you know, you're facing dwarves, it's going to be hard for them to steal, and you just need to sit on the ball for a while.
Well,
I would still do my best to score personally, just because it's hard to score with dwarves, and like, you know, I don't know, you don't want to like expose the ball and stuff. I don't know, it'd be a bit cagey, but if you score, you win, don't you? Which is nice.
Yeah, if you go too passive, I think that's just a pretty standard error. You can't just sit on this
lead.
lead.
It's also the case that, in my experience, you know, 5+ passes aside, usually, if you're losing the ball, it's better to lose it in your opponent's half than to lose it deep in yours, because then it's just it's the dice to get it scored on is usually much less.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And that just comes about naturally.
Like, elves can play keep away, but dwarves just can't really, can they? So I just think go for a normal grindy thing, but you don't have to make a potato to score.
Yeah, there's no
Right.
These are happening.
Dio doesn't even have his second runner on. He's only got the one, so he's not planning to do anything fancy.
Yeah, I don't really like having 2 runners if you're not going to field them both on offense, to be honest.
Well,
no, I don't mind only fielding one. TBH.
I'm finally fielding one. I'm not sure I like having 2 on a fixed roster when you're only going to field one on offense. Those might concern.
Especially if you're not going to field either on defense. Like, there's really no need for Dio to have 2.
Yeah, but I mean that was the matchup as well, wasn't it? You know, like he might versus Els, he might have played both on offense, and versus Els, he might have played both on defense. You know,
that's possible.
It gives you options,
right?
And like it's only 10k more, so you might as well when you've got reserves.
Yeah, I mean, I personally really like having 2. I know a lot of people.
I honestly don't. I like having 2 on the roster, and then just you know, if you've got to make a 2 or 3 score, you can put both runners on. But normally, I would have like, you know, 2 runners and only field 1 at once. To be honest, TBH.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't really expect to have 2 on the field at all times, but especially for a longer run, like something in the CCL, whatever. One of them is gonna get knocked out of a game at some point, and you'll want to have the second one just as a backup.
Yeah.
You can even give the second runner wrestle and use him as a sweeper if you're really crazy. I know a couple of people have tried that. I'm not sure how much success they've had with it, but I know there are people that do like that.
You know, Artemis likes the wrestle runner just as like an option to have because your blitzers can't take it. Artemis is a pretty damn good dwarf coach, so.
He's certainly done it a lot.
L on here? Yep. Good start for defense on try. He's knocked down most of Dio's line. He hasn't really left too much of a gap on the left side, if any.
Yeah, he's got a bit of an initiative just from hitting all these guys, but you know, 2 of the players he's knocked down are the jump up guys, so they're even that doesn't really help you much. Well, things are going to get into a big scrum, and it looks like that's what's happening. If you're trying, you want it to be right around here and not, you know, 6 or 8 squares farther back. Is that the first jump up failure we've seen all day or all weekend?
All yeah. Agi 2 jump up has been pretty good so far. You know, it's a 3+ roll. It's going to be good most of the time. It's just always a bit varied. It's a bit dicey.
Oh, 3+s always work. That's why you should pile on at every opportunity.
Jim, what would you say Dwarves' worst matchup in this format are, besides, I guess, theoretically Chorfs, but the Chorf team we have in the format isn't really built for killing Dwarves. Maybe Lizards, maybe Orcs.
Maybe that mute your mic switch that you forgot about, which can totally wreck you. That or Jim just got up to get more tea or something. You do need a little caffeine for a game like this.
Yeah, I wouldn't grab coffee before, and I don't drink coffee like ever. I was like, oh, time to break that rule for a day.
If you're gonna, this is a good day for it.
Dodge does a thing. A very rare occurrence in this matchup is Dodge ever working.
Well, and that's what happens when you blitz with one guy who doesn't have tackle. I guess, you've been saying that when you're on offense, it's kind of like being 10 against 11 because you can't use your ball carrier to do much. I don't really like blitzing with my ball carrier if I have any other options at all, but that's one way to get him into the game.
I really don't like doing it without block. With a block, it's okay, but I really don't like doing it in that situation where your chance of a knockdown is minimal and relatively high.
Yeah, he's hitting a blodger with an unskilled guy who's carrying the ball. That could have been catastrophic. Is Try gonna be able to chain somebody free here or towards the ball?
Looks like he's gonna go for
Looks like he's got
to jump. He's got a jump up hit to get 2 dice on the ball here, if he wants it.
Yeah, a knockdown here would have freed this Longbeard as well by pushing him back to here. We have lost skills. There we go.
Yeah, now he just needs to jump up to work here. Gets a POW, and then the runner.
And the runner can just walk right through.
Ooh, he does reroll the jump up, but just gets a push.
Oh, it's enough, isn't it? Well, no, it's not really enough.
Doesn't have a guard, so it's not quite enough.
If he can knock this, if he can knock this killer blitzer down, then he can just run straight through. And that's his next attempt, and it works. So this is not a guard, so we will have 1 die on the ball. But, you've got block, and he doesn't.
It's still a dodge through tackle. You can't quite run onto the ball.
Oh, no, there's another man back there.
Yeah.
It's probably still worth trying. 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. He certainly gave it a good try to get a free shot.
Mm-hmm.
What happens if this fails? You fall down in this square, and then they advance.
Let's base the ball.
Mm-hmm. And he's done it from a...
Oh my gosh. 5+ dodge to get on front. Yep, there it is. It's a pretty good spot.
That's an excellent
pressure on the ball right now.
Yeah. There's one dwarf free right away to help try and clear the ball, but you push the runner out of the way, and then what? There's nowhere really safe to go with the ball.
The aggressive play here is you ignore the dwarf runner and you just blitz this Longbeard off, and you potato up and you move up and sideline cage up a bit further away.
You just run forward.
Get 3+ dodge.
Nobody has yet counseled the punt, so I don't think we're going to see that.
Punt where you throw the ball away, not the one where you just give up the game, obviously, is what we're talking about.
Well, it's usually one and the same thing.
He does blitz the runner, so he is probably just going to hang out back here some more. Or does he need the tackle player?
He needs another guard, really.
It's like he thinks he needs a tackle player.
Yeah, see, if this player had guard, he could just GFI back into this square, you could clear that, and then potato up the sideline. Wouldn't be very good, but... Oh, never mind, you can just one dice him out of the way.
that 1D. That 1D happened.
Yeah. Okay, he's not planning to go up the sideline either, because he pushed the dwarf in the wrong direction for that. Dio is still in a position where he doesn't actually have to score, and time is slowly ticking away. But Try is doing a good job generating some problems for him.
Time is not on Try's side here, so every turn is a win for Dio, basically. Try like moving the ball there at all, but maybe he saw something.
I'm not sure. You know what? If he's expecting the runner to dodge around and try and blitz him, a push would have pushed that runner into contact with the Longbeard. For more hits, what I'm saying is going here, 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 and then hitting the guy one die for a push sends him forward, and then you have more blocks. So this is a little safer. Not a lot safer.
Yeah.
Because now this is kind of open
to hit the ball now with 2 dice.
Bang. Do you take 1 die?
You can just move a guard in for 2. I think you just move the guard in for 2. Because this is a Palm Slayer, not the
right.
There's no guard on him.
Yeah. See, I was thinking you could just use that guard that he moved in as the blitzer, and then just hit the ball. Or you can free this player too.
You'd also just go for a hit on the Palmer for a push, and then base him again, and have the ball double marked. But any freeing that guard up's not ideal, but. So it brings another blitzer into the play.
I feel like if you don't make something happen right now, it's likely that a couple of these Longbeards in the middle of the field will be able to have time to get back to the left and protect.
Sorry, I just made a cup of tea there.
All right, I guessed it correctly. Trying found 2 dice on the ball as he joined us, and he's now thinking about, do I need to re-roll that? He does, and it works. And he's not going to risk a scatter out of bounds.
Scatter's okay for Try, though. It's downfield, which is what he wants.
He's got a player between the ball carrier and the ball.
He's threatening a surf on a blitzer. The Palmer is hit by tagged by guard. There's not really a nearby guard to interact because everything's tied up.
He can get there with 1 GFI from this guard in the center. He could also try and surf Try's runner.
Stand firm does a thing. Also, Try's blodger is not on tackle, so all of his agility 3 players are pretty easy for him to clear up next turn, or at least participate in the play, which is what he needs going forward pretty badly. I surf is kind of on, but I'm not sure how on it really is.
Yeah, you're looking at some 1 dice at best.
Yeah, it looks like
you take this player, go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, blitz, surf. Well, no, you have to hit with this player first, and then the blitz has to be with the runner. Or you can just 1 dice pow him.
Yeah. Runner is fine.
Dirty Dino.
So now he can completely free up his own runner, get back, pick the ball up again.
Sandfirm's done really good here to tie up 2 players and prevent the tackle from getting onto his blodger here. So, there. Which is...
Yeah, Dio still is not needed a reroll at any point, so he's still got all 3 of them. And now he's just going to dodge and pick the ball up again.
I would probably like to have seen a couple of rerolls beaten by now with the kind of aggressive plays Dio's made, but I don't. That's not actually happening.
No.
That's probably him trying to...
That
was a mistake.
That actually... What the hell?
It would have been a misclick. He must have been meaning to have that runner block, and now all of a sudden...
Try's got the ball.
the ball, and we talked about punting, and that was a punt. That was a punt.
That was a thing. I'm not sure if you see that a lot when you're trying to click on a different guy and the cyanide interface screws with you, but you never see anybody actually throw that pass.
No, I've done it before. I've thrown that pass before.
All right, so yeah, that can't possibly have been his intention. But Try will have a quick laugh and then get on with things because he's still got to get his long beard with the ball all the way down the field in 4 turns, which is easier to say than to do.
We're going to need Commissioner Grenadic to look into potential collusion here. It's pretty atrocious what's happened.
Thanks, Jim. All the people coming over from Jim's stream that wasn't actually live. Thanks for the host,
Dodge
though.
instantly fails.
Yeah, I realised I wasn't hosting you, but never mind.
No, it's fine.
Dio does have a very easy 2 dice here on the ball. It's...
Oh, yeah, but at this point, if Dio can recover this pretty quickly, that would just kind of feel more like justice. Because he really didn't deserve that interception either. Although, with 2-3 seconds left, that's think fast. That's...
Run the clock down, you risk having misclicks be really, really impactful.
Yeah. And this one is, he's likely to recover, but it could easily still have cost him a game. Stand Firm Man is two turns away from scoring. If he somehow survives all this.
Yeah. Tackle Palmer is obviously going to come in here to try and knock him down. Blitzer is in range of scoring. The runner in range of being scoring. So all of Try's players, I think, can still. The 23 players can still score. He does get the POW. Try takes the push. Which is interesting.
Yeah, I might even have blitzed all the way around from the side, just so that he couldn't decline to use Stand Firm and end up closer to the end zone. Oh, it's a comfortable scatter that the runner can just pick up again. Probably you do that and then you stand right here with the ball so that interception beard can't do anything too crazy.
Can't quite get it into a cage, but the runner can get pretty safe next turn.
Oh, yeah. The only person who's really threatening to reach him is this guy. Oh, now he's moving forward.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody's hitting him. So it looks like he's recovered from the shock of accidentally throwing the ball. And we're getting close to it'll take a miracle time. And we've already seen the miracle and it didn't help.
I'd personally think I'd like Try to win just so that he's miserable, but
and have to play more.
Hold this out. It'd be pretty great if we could just not have to go to overtime. That'd be really fantastic. So
well, our next game will be the winner of this match against the winner of. Oh no, our next game is the loser of this match.
Loser of this match, yeah.
Right, and we've seen Try play like 4 games already on this channel, so it'd be nice to get to watch 2 different coaches. But I guess it's going to be all try all the time on WTRY.
Takes the both down, but considered rerolling it for the push there, obviously. Tackle stops dodge.
Yeah, the tackle was on a lot of things, considering it's a dwarf off. Now I'd be doing things like running the hell away and even trying to foul that guy because, well, is he no longer a threat to score, the runner? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, he's still in scoring range, technically.
Looks like Crucifer has beaten Cyber Knight and will be playing. Probably be playing Try, so we'll be getting a rematch of Chores versus Dwarfs, Try versus Crucifer.
Okay, and then the winner of that will have to play Dio's team with more dwarfs. Welcome to the All Try, All Dwarf channel. I hope you people are enjoying this.
Hey, that's a failure.
We do our best to bring you some varied and exciting Blood Bowl action, but instead all you got are dwarfs.
Maybe I'm easily pleased, but I thought it was good.
Oh, it was a good game. Not completely decided, of course, but effectively very close to decided right at the end of the first half there by a bunch of great play by Dio and a nice long pass that worked. That's really been the story of this game. Maybe dwarf games shouldn't be 1 minute turns just because it's harder for us to appreciate the nuance of all the strategy that's happening. It's not the coaches, it's us, the viewers. We need more time to appreciate what we're seeing, the beauty of this tactical masterpiece.
As casters, we need more time to pontificate on the meaning of moving one square to the left or one square to the right and getting 2 dice in a different way.
Which of these 17 possible serves?
About Blood Bowl, it's that you need 4 minutes to decide exactly which square to go in.
So Try is going to be looking at a scoring threat here. Looks like he has a path to get a 1 dice on the ball.
It was also possible to chain free the Longbeard that just got the block.
Take that back. He has a 2 dice on the ball with 3 GFIs. He has a 2 dice on the ball.
Yeah. This player can get through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then this player is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There isn't much in the way of recovery after that, and he's also going to need a scoring threat of some sort.
He can get his other blitzer. Okay, so he's just going to go for the 1 dice here as opposed to the 2. Does just roll POW though.
No, you only need 1.
All dwarf 1 dice are POWs, but is it a Kaz? And it is!
It's a removal, all right.
Oh, dwarf removals. Pretty rancid scatter.
Yeah, not great. So you're going to have to take this blitzer around down and be a scoring threat, I guess, and then try and pick it up with a Longbeard and throw it to him. I know he's going the long way around.
The other blitzer needs to get over to that ball.
And he's got 4 seconds to do it.
I don't know if these GFIs are necessary, but we're doing them.
Yeah, there's no reason not to, is there?
He just might fall down and lose movement next turn, but I guess he's doing this to gain movement to pick it up and get a shorter pass.
Yeah. I mean, if you fall down, you're still going to have enough movement to pick it up again. He's given himself a chance. Not much of a chance.
We've seen 5+ passes are in fact standard part of the dwarf playbook, so we could see it again.
Unlikely dwarf scoring threats can still turn into touchdowns. How do you defend this if you're Dio? You can't really free anybody in the region of the ball. Looks like he's going to have 1 blitzer free to try and come down to maybe mark the scoring threat, but just mark him. You can't actually hit him.
He's gonna base probably the blitzer here to force maybe a blitz to get him off.
Right, and then you take the other blitzer and you base the scoring threat, so you can't blitz both of them free. One or the other is going to have to make a dodge.
Ooh, okay, so he did it in a way that I actually really don't like that. I don't like going there.
No,
That's
he
right.
should
So
be.
going there. Yeah, he's doing it to generate an extra block. Or like it doesn't do anything. If you roll pushes, he just stands there and one dices you off instead of having to.
Yeah, this is a
3+
stand
dodge.
firm guy. He's irrelevant.
And in fact,
Well,
I think it's actually pretty easy for Try to make that 2 dice on him to clear him out too. Yeah, it looks like he can do it with a GFI maybe. There. And now he forces the dodge out
right,
on the Blitzer, which is a something.
which was the whole point of coming down here anyway. I guess
Yeah.
he didn't even have to.
So yeah, Try can choose to Try might be able to force
Right, you want to move this Longbeard probably out of the way, or do you hope he catches the scatter in the unlikely event of a failure?
Okay, so Try can set up a 2 dice, get a push. That push isn't enough. He can GFI just on Ak, the Blitzer basing the scoring threat. That's it. Pow here. I don't know if that's enough for.
Well, it opens a
No,
path
this
through
is
the
enough.
middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's gonna roll for another push here. Bring the block
Oh yeah,
down.
this fellow can now come through here.
Yeah. Yeah. So now this guy gets freed up because the Blitzer is in the wrong square because he went for the extra block there. And then you do the 3+ dodge, something pass.
Whoops, didn't make it.
Of course, he rolls them both down.
Oh, really, game?
Yeah, there it is.
Oh, you can just make the dodge.
See?
So now he needs a dodge and pick up and pass, and it's a 3 and a 3 and a 4 and a 3, and he's gonna hit some 6s.
You just do the pass from here. He doesn't need to do any GFIs. He can't make it easier. Fails the pass.
Oh, he's made it on a reroll.
Time.
Can you catch it? Oh, look at that. We're going to overtime.
Kill me.
3 games of dwarfs wasn't enough. We're going to give you 3.5. Where else can you get that kind of service but here?
Crazy, isn't it? Crazy that both teams turned over on defense and scored. Pretty incredible match.
So you normally would say whoever wins the toss is just going to win here in overtime, but that hasn't really proved to be the case so far.
I think of the two,
There
Try is
on defense. Is he?
Say would have been more likely because Try probably could have scored earlier if he wanted to. He didn't really force it, but issues because Try was playing really aggressive on defense, so I'm not sure. But neither has gotten any removals, so both of their offense have been pretty stalled out at the moment. Did Try also get a PD on his drive?
Yes.
Okay, that's part of it.
I didn't really make an awful lot out of it though. It just turned into what a normal dwarf on dwarf fight was going to anyway. Dio's runner did not come back, so he's still got just the one. Maybe this is the time where you'd field both. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe he's fine without him. And the casualty count, nobody injured anywhere. If
you look at the rest of his team, it's pretty obvious why he isn't fielding it, because every other player has a skill, as opposed to the runner, which has, none.
Yeah.
Well, so it makes sense compared to Try, who has a couple unskilled Longbeards, which would be pretty easily replaced by a runner, but...
Neutral-ish.
High kick is useful here.
High kick.
Io does have a reroll advantage, and he has the Apothecary, so he's going to Apo any KO that happens here.
Correct.
So KOs aren't too likely to worse.
But anything worse than a KO, you just let it go.
On this shit, as it has been for about 3 games now, we haven't really seen Piling On do anything.
We did. That's the question. Did any of the dwarfs win a match without overtime? I've already forgotten.
Dwarf
Try beat
regular time.
Yeah, in the very first round, Try beats Elyod, who was game in regular time. Has been a lot of overtime, but they're overtime heavy sort of team. Dwarfs tend
Overtime
to-
formats tend to lead to more overtime because no one wants to lose the game in regular time if they don't have to. Just how it goes.
Yeah. Well, in this case, Try had nothing better than to play for, but overtime. And hello there, Mr. Crucifer. We understand you won your game. And we'll be playing the loser of this match next for a spot in the final. So Crucifer's path to first place would be beating both of these dwarf teams, basically. We don't know which order yet.
Not Blitz with piling on, which is a bit of a shock, but he didn't do it. Just Blitz with the regular guard guy.
Yeah, what's this piling on man going to do? Not much else special. Well, I guess he'll come back and provide moral support for the ball carrier.
Far as his ball want to advance, it's got to make some progress. Maybe it just hangs out here. I don't know.
I'd come forward to about where he has, just to stay around with the rest of your team. Is he in danger? Not really. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can't even base the ball.
I don't know why Dio chose to split his team the way he had. Like, there's not really any downfield pressure coming from the dwarves with just one runner. It's a bit odd. I guess it saves them from getting into a scrum.
6.
It's a bit cautious.
Try could actually hit the ball if he's feeling really rowdy, but I think it's a foolish thing to do, and he probably won't even consider it.
Yeah, with no rerolls especially. Maybe if he had more rerolls than Dio, he'd go for it, but I don't think he wants to give up his safety right now.
And ideally, you don't want to just turn him over. You want to turn him over and score, and you'll need your runner as the ball carrier for when that works.
Here comes the Apo.
Yeah, instant Apo.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, I like the pylon and I like the Apo. And yeah, Try's pretty much got to try and get the turnover touchdown, hasn't he, with being down the reroll, so very interesting.
That was a very classic, but that's taught to all new players of a good piling on, a natural armor break with mighty blow on the injury roll, so you should always pile that on, even though you shouldn't always pile that on, and you shouldn't just pile on when you get a natural armor break, but the classic standard pile on.
Yeah, if your gym, every pile on opportunity is a standard pile on.
Auto pylon every day. You've got 3 jump up pylons. I mean, what's it? Dio, I think should have been piling on every time without thinking. Try with them only having 1.
Should also be piling on at every opportunity.
Maybe not. Maybe there's a chance for Try to not pile on. Maybe one time in the entire game. Maybe in 24 turns there might have been a time where he shouldn't have piled on. But Dio 100% pile on every time for me.
All right, Dio's going to be able to make some progress up here on the right side. The ball's pretty safe, and he hasn't completely sealed it off. But he'll have some more blocks that could accomplish that.
Yeah, Try's not... I mean, he's dwarf, so he doesn't really have the speed to kind of get back in front and shepherd this drive.
No,
kind of slow it down, so...
this is pretty good for Dio.
Disconnecting there from Dio. I think Dio maybe should have kept in contact with that Longbeard just to deny Try a free movement player there.
Yeah, I've been seriously planning to follow that block.
Especially now because I think Try might not use Stampers because he's going to really like that push. He does keep it though because it gives him a block. Alright. Every push back over that side would have been pretty good for Try, so that one dice might not have been so good.
Yeah, you got to bring the runner over. Too little, too late, perhaps, but What else have you got? If you're going to arrange to get another guard in the line here, you can.
He does
block
have a
few
chain
people
push
off.
to potentially free up this. Yep, he's got a chain push to free up this blitzer to get the blitzer back a bit further. Back without too much hassle.
All right. Oh, we could
Jump
have.
up works.
You also could have chained the jump up man free and brought him around the back. That's probably a little too optimistic at this point.
I does use stand firm. I might have liked pushing the stand firm.
No,
The
he's
left
got,
stand firm there.
yeah. Oh, he's got other pushes he wants to set up and players to free. Two, three, four, five. I think I need to use this blitzer to go there instead of the one he picked. Because then that blitzer was lying down at the start of the turn, so he didn't really have any more movement either. All right, he's managed to get people back. If you give him a little more time, he can really try. That is, can really push things off to the side.
Right, okay. Chose not to blitz there, which is probably an okay decision. I don't know if he had a good blitz target there. Maybe he could have done something for a push to get more space, but went with what he did.
We had a long talk about rerolls and overtime this morning, and I don't think Dio is going to be really happy to just coast to overtime. And I posted the odds a minute or two ago in chat. One reroll advantage gives you about a 68% chance of winning penalty kicks, which is, of course, much
Dio
better
probably
than
feels like he scores more often than he doesn't if he uses that reroll.
Yeah, so I don't
like,
think he's
yeah.
going to be too concerned with saving it.
Concerns he might have are, can he... It's just so hard with the limited movement that he has without any troll slayers, with the only Ooh, does he pile on here?
I don't think you do, because that's an assist to hit this guy and then free somebody over here, get the player to mark the runner, and try
Yeah,
and
so it's gonna
sneak
be another
forward.
jump up non-pile on here.
Yeah, I know Jim's sad it wasn't a pylon, but I think it was the right move.
Nope.
No.
Yeah, it's just gonna be hard for dwarves, even with the space it looks like they have. It's going to be relatively hard for them to do immediately exploit it. That's just how it always is.
All right, we'll try and need some time, really, more than anything, because half his team is in the middle of the field, and they really need to be off to the right. And Dyer didn't make an awful lot of progress this turn, so that probably helps Try.
Yeah, definitely. He's got time to try and get back. I didn't like Try's Garda. Is it Garda at the back? No, the rookie at the back that he moved like kind of level with the ball carrier, because I think you've got to keep them all in front of you, you know. And I didn't like that he moved him round the back. Even as elves, I think. Okay, elves have got like kind of a scoring threat if they do that, you know, danger man. But he's really kind of very out of position. I think. I really don't think you should have moved him there. And you may pay the price this turn on next.
Yeah.
He does provide a potential chain push option if he can get some POWs to free players back up at least, but but Try might not be going for that. He definitely needs to get one or two more players out in front of the ball this turn.
You can free the stand firm. You can just 1 in 9. Re the game. You just can't free anybody. You got to stand up this player sooner or later. Maybe the hope is to blitz with him. All right, Alright, so the stand firm guy can at least get back a little bit. The blitzer on the ground. I don't know. Is just going to be standing up and keeping the runner company, probably.
That was a turn of some pretty bad block dice, which Try didn't really need, but...
No, well, the game's kind of slowed down over the last 2-3 turns, which would suit Try more than it would suit Dio.
It's a red dice there, which isn't... I guess the push is pretty good for denying blocks, but... For the dwarves pretty easily.
I mean, it's not like Dio's going to commit a whole turn to like pushing that guy around and surfing him.
No.
And if he does get knocked over, Dio's just going to push him backwards into a solid position anyway. So yeah, just leaving him there might have been better.
I can tackle Blitz this runner and try and advance up the field. Not too much of a threat from Try.
Yeah, he'll blitz around, and if he can knock down the runner, an armor break here just about ends the game.
Dio not having any protection on these runners is going to be important here, as Try is going to have to do some desperate stuff, and it's going to be relatively easy to knock over the ball carrier compared to
Yeah, we saw Wolfbark do that last night too. It's just an unskilled runner. You're hoping that if he does get knocked down, at worst he just stands up and picks it up again.
Runner does advance.
Yeah. You want to free one of these players, which you've done to help cut off the back.
And that's going to deny a 1 dice, and that should be enough to stop any attempts on the ball.
Yeah, you can even come
that
up
might
this
be
way.
enough to force a score through these next 2 turns. He's got a numerical advantage here. He's got
4, 5, 6, 7. No,
yeah.
I can't do it. This guy can't. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This guy can't really do it. Well, with a dodge, or 1, 2, dodge, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's still possible. Would you have taken that blitzer and moved him ahead of the runner? Or would you have kept him in the back where he is?
I would have kept him parallel at least, I think.
Yeah, in sort of an eye-ish cage.
Yeah. To deny...
There's definitely no 1 dice block if he's standing right on top of the big number 8.
Oh, there's a double skulls.
Yeah.
That should do it.
Right, that's going to be game. Because Dio can pretty easily just run out of reach.
And obviously, yeah.
Well, that was a game that took about an hour and a half, longer than a typical 3-minute game. And it was a really good one.
Yeah. Try's basically got to hope for snakes on something important here, but I don't think that's particularly likely.
Yeah. We're going to have a quick break after this game, and then we'll be watching Try, who presumably is going to come up second best here. He'll have to play against Crucifer and his dwarf team. We'll be casting that right here in just a few minutes, and then the winner will face Dio in the final. So it's a nice long afternoon of exciting tactical dwarf action. And sure, it was 21 turns before the game was effectively decided, and both halves ended in some complicated and crazy action. But overall, it's been an excellent game, well played by both coaches, and it's been a lot of fun to watch. We joke about how slow and dull and boring dwarfs are, but this has been a great game.
Yeah, it's been some atypical dwarf action. Both teams failed at their offense. We got some dwarf bullshit at the end. It's been pretty good.
Yarp.
That way.
Yarp. So I guess I'll try really has is a dodge right through.
Uh,
1, 2,
for minus
3,
2D,
4,
yeah, with
5.
no real recovery.
Yeah, you can't even go around, can you?
The 4+5+ minus 2 dice block. No dodge.
Can't
no
do
reroll.
anything with his blitzer either because his downed runner is in the way.
That's all he's got.
Yeah, I mean, if you can make a dodge right through and knock... Oh, never mind, you can't do anything. So that's going to be that game. Thanks for joining us. We're going to have a quick break here. And then we'll see Try against Crucifer for a shot at the final. And there's also some prize money involved in that game. Dio has ensured himself at least second place overall, which is a 30 United States dollars cash prize. He may also win first, of course. 17 armor breaks to 7. It didn't feel that one-sided, but I guess it was.
95 blocks versus 77.
When was the last time you saw a game with over 170 blocks?
That's mad, isn't it?
That
Plus,
is.
there was no troll slayers. There was no frenzy involved in that, so
No.
they were all actual blocks.
Yeah, there's some piling on, but there was no frenzy
Coaches
at all.
beating the living hell out of each other, but getting like 2 removals combined.
Let's have a look. Yeah.
Yeah, there were 2 KOs that game, I think. No.
There was one Kaz early, wasn't there? That got. There was a death that got turned into.
There were 2 KOs and a death. That is all there was for the entire game. 3 removals for 150 blocks. 170 blocks. Dwarf.